What's good, YouTube? You ever hear the phrase, be careful what you wish for? Well, that's exactly what just happened with this set release for Rarities with Raging Tempest. And the first notice is that Momarat is indeed a super, which is easier to get than a rare. Not as easy to get as most commons, of course, but there should be plenty of Momarats going around. But let's talk about all the secrets, and something a lot of people didn't notice that Konami did when I'm going to talk about Rarity, Disparity, and what this set has actually done. So first we're going to talk about our Zodiac cards here. The first two that were secret are Bullhorn and Barrage. Drancia also being a secret rare here, but we'll get into that second. This whole engine, Momarat with Bullhorn with Barrage, it's an enabler engine for many other decks as well as its own deck. So for the first time ever, instead of that hard reset where all the other decks are choked out, Zodiac is actually an engine that is going to be found out to be, what does this work with best? And Zodiac Kaijus and Pure will be a heavy amount of the format, but we will see a lot of innovation and creativity with this deck overall throughout the format, as people are going to find, I don't want to just play this, or I need to react. The other decks coming out, like Wind Witch Eidolons, once Fusion Enforcers hits, Frightfur, and many other decks are going to come in as well, but the decks just haven't been made obsolete. We'll see Zodiac Metal Foe probably played. We'll see other variants with Zodiacs played. So for the first time ever, your old cards just didn't go away. You're going to have to figure out ratios and what to do with them. And almost every variant that is playing Zodiacs is going to have a pretty cramped extra deck. You're probably going to want to play 2 Bullhorn. Most people give up down to 1 Drancia, but you'll probably still want 2, as it's kind of your power card in terms of interacting with your opponent on their turn. But decks like Metal Foes don't really need it as bad. But all this being secret rare, what's that mean? The cost. The cost is through the roof. This is very, very similar to Pot of Desires, where Desires was a staple for many, many decks. Well, the Zodiac engine is going to be a staple for many, many tournament-ready decks. So, Drancia being secret rare, Broad Bull now being secret rare, I forget Drancia's new name. Both of these cards being secret and needed at least in 1 to 2 ofs for a lot of decks, the price is going to be very, very high. It's not like where Dante was a 3 of and only, 1 secret per pack, but it's still going to be pretty insane, as we've seen with BOSH ratios. Pendulum Sorcerer and Strike were still super, super high. So it should be really interesting to see where all this falls, along with the Ultras like Tigress. Do not pre-order. Buyers beware, do not pre-order these cards. A lot of the time, we'll see pre-order prices be high and then it goes down. And a lot of people are going to clamor to get their cards now. And there's going to be a low amount till the actual set release. Now, if you're playing in YCS Seattle, you're kind of out of luck. But if you're playing in any other events, calm down, take your time, make your trades, and work towards these, rather than just slamming the money at the computer screen. Like, this deck will be very, very good. And for the first time ever, in a long time since, DUEA, it's going to be really, really worth it. Well, actually, since BOSH. So about every year, there's a set. This is the set you actually buy sealed and break open. I can't say anything else about the set other than it's insane. As we get into the other secrets that I would suggest, we might come back to these. But the next ones are going to be the Shadow Spread Virus and Sea Monster of Theseus, both secret rare. What can we say about these cards? These are the on-off secrets that I don't think will be good immediately, but will eventually break out. The problem is, will they break out before the Megatons or not? Theseus is much more likely than Shadow Spread Virus, but there's never been a virus card that was made for the mainstream, not like the Alien Virus. We're talking like Crush Card, Deck Devi, Eradicator. This is similar to those. So there hasn't been a virus card like this where it's been released and just done nothing. So we should expect to see it. The race of time is, will it be good? before the Megatins, and I can't answer that for you guys. I don't know what's coming or what the formats will hold, but it's definitely a very, very good card. Sea Monster of Theseus, however, will be broken before the Megatins. Mark my words on that. It's a very good card. It's not the best, but it's very, very, very good. And if Norden's getting hit, this will be what Instant Fusion is relying on in decks that use Instant Fusion or need Instant Fusion to create plays. It'll be very good in the Shurnai zombie kind of builds. It'll be very good in Predaplants, as we've already seen D-Summons combo, where you make Gotems and Omega and rip 3 cards for the cost of 2, and you search out Instant Fusion. Theseus will be broken in. And I think it's going to do this. I think it's going to streamline high, dip down as it doesn't see tournament results, and then once it does something, it's going to spike very hard. I think Shadow Spread Virus is going to be one of the cheapest secrets, of the set, and is something that you really can't tell what it's going to do. It's kind of the bum secret of the set, ironically, even though it's a virus card. So, if I'm wrong, tell me in the comments below why, but after assessing all the secrets, it and the Odd Eyes, which I'm not even going to review the Odd Eyes, I would think are kind of the two not so chase pulls compared to all the other secrets, but there's a ton of chase pulls in this set, which is pretty insane to say. So let's go over the last two, which are the biggest surprises to me to be secrets. Lawn Mowing, I could have sworn would be a super, and the same with Foolish Burial with Belongings. So let's talk about Foolish Burial with Belongings too. Well, first, but both of these cards, something about both of these, are they're both enablers. They enable decks. So Foolish Burial with Belongings was a huge enabler for the Rogue decks, for the Fright for Fluffle decks, for the UA decks even that we've seen in Casual Fridays where it sends Penalty Box and helps it go. The Rogue decks were really counting on this one. And for it to be a secret, I think it's going to rest at $20 to $30, possibly $30, but it's definitely an insanely good secret rare that a lot of Rogue players are going to need. It may sit all the way down to 18, but I don't see it going under 18 unless people just kind of let it go. Like, it's going to be used in a lot of fun decks, and that'll actually do things, so they're like not just sit there. Now, Lawn Mowing is another example of a card that enabled old strategies. Instead of creating that wipe of the current format, it brought back a deck. It brought back Infernoids to the forefront, and it's going to be very interesting to see how that runs into Seattle. I'm calling it now. Again, it's going to win Seattle, in my opinion. It's going to overtake what everybody's learning and dominate that event. Could be completely wrong, could not even top 4, but that's just my call. I think Lawn Mowing decks are insanely powerful. Fairy Tale Snow is one of the best commons ever released, and it enables that. It enables Trick Clown. It enables everything in your deck to be able to go off alongside Infernoids. So I think it's very, very, very good. We might see a Minerva Sworn top with Lawn Mowing. I don't know, but I'm just calling a Lawn Mowing deck taking it. It's a very... It's not even luck-based at that point when you're playing triple left arm offering, and you're typically milling around 18 cards with it. Should be interesting to see how the mirror matches run into each other, though. I can hardly imagine how game 2 and 3 are going to play out. But yeah, it's definitely a very, very cool enabler for different strategies. Even the dinosaurs coming out in April will get a huge boost from this. Like DZeef said, Skull Servants can be using this, but it's a secret rare, and it's probably going to be a $50 secret at that. So again, with the market coming out, if you're not playing immediately, just trade, just hold off, don't push the panic button yet. There's plenty of budget options to play with in the meantime, but if you're playing competitively, unfortunately, you're going to be having to pay up a bit. It's not really pay to win because, again, tons of competitors are going to pay and tons of competitors are going to have these cards. You will see the top 32 filled with 100 plus maybe $1,000 decks at this point because it's going to be insane. It's people are going to fight and clamor. Let's go back to the Zodiacs here. People are definitely going to be clamoring for the Zoo deck. Like, it's going to enable so many strategies. The Kaiju engine, even on its own, has gone up slowly over time. I can't imagine that this deck is just going to, you know, roll over either. It's insane, and people are already calling for emergency ban lists. Like, we saw that those card shops in Japan that Glasgow Yu-Gi-Oh talked about, ban Zodiacs from their tournament. It's just such a powerful strategy that I cannot imagine it just, you know, not being worth a lot. People are going to definitely be fighting for these cards. Topping tournaments are going to make money again. This set is, you know, it's another BOSH, it's another DUEA, but instead it's not just taken over and done a hard wipe of the game. It's created a lot of different strategies, and it has that Pot of Desire staple effect. So thanks for watching. Tell me what you guys think about this set, and if I'm, you know, right on, or if, you know, if I'm crazy and this is just a hard wipe, like Metal Foes will disappear, Metal Foes Zodiac's not gonna be a thing, or will it? You know, like, I think this is an enabler for many other strategies. We're seeing ABC decks even start to abuse the Zodiacs and, like, create insane boards, and then use Theseus as well. So, it really should be interesting to see how this develops and goes. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up, and, yeah, let me know if you want me to do more general upcoming market discussions like this, rather than just, like, this is what's happening now.